One overlooked detail can turn your dream RV into a financial nightmare. Thousands lose big on lemon RVs every year because they miss the signs. In this video, we'll show you 10 red flags that could save you thousands and your sanity. Let's get rolling. When shopping for a used RV, few problems are as expensive and common as wood rot and slideouts. These expandable sections create wonderful living space, but become vulnerable points for water damage when not properly maintained. The problem begins silently. Water seeps through cracked seals or deteriorating caulk around the slide edges. Once inside, moisture attacks the wooden structure, causing it to soften and eventually rot completely. The worst part? This damage often remains hidden from casual inspection, lurking beneath surfaces while steadily worsening. Smart buyers know to fully extend all slides during inspection. Look underneath for telltale signs: water stains, discoloration, sagging plastic underbelly, or areas that feel soft when pressed. If the bottom gives way or feels spongy when you push upward, consider this a major warning sign. Sometimes the wood is covered by a thin plastic barrier, so you'll need to feel through it. Repairs are neither simple nor affordable. Costs typically range from $5,000 to $10,000, as fixing structural damage often requires completely removing the slide. Some RV designs make accessing the slide framework particularly difficult, further complicating repairs. The bottom line? Slide-out rot often indicates deeper maintenance neglect and usually warrants walking away from the purchase altogether. This isn't merely a cosmetic issue, it's a structural problem that threatens both safety and your wallet. Always thoroughly inspect slide-outs before finalizing any used RV purchase. When browsing used RVs, you might spot one with a salvage title at a tempting price. While some salvage titles, like those from minor storm damage, might offer legitimate value, one type signals immediate danger: flood damage. Flood-damaged RVs often receive just enough cosmetic cleanup to appear acceptable, but devastating problems lurk beneath the surface. Perhaps most dangerous is water's effect on electrical systems. Moisture and sediment work their way into wiring harnesses, connection points, and control boards, silently causing corrosion. These ghost electrical issues manifest randomly as unexplained power failures, dangerous electrical shorts, or even catastrophic fires, often months after purchase when warranty periods have expired. What makes flood damage particularly insidious is that even expert technicians struggle to identify all potential problems. Once moisture has fully penetrated the structure and electrical pathways, the RV becomes fundamentally compromised. The financial impact is severe. Electrical system repairs alone typically range from $3,000 to $7,000, while addressing structural damage adds another $5,000 to $10,000. Many reputable repair facilities refuse to work on flood-damaged units altogether, knowing the endless problems they present. The verdict is clear. When you spot a salvage title indicating water or flood damage, walk away immediately. No discount justifies inheriting someone else's disaster. Plenty of safer options exist in the used RV market. One of the most overlooked yet potentially serious problems when buying a used RV is mold growth under the mattress. While it might seem minor, this common issue can become a significant health concern and reveals important clues about the RV's overall condition. Unlike residential beds with slats or box springs that allow airflow, RV mattresses typically rest directly on solid, unventilated wooden platforms. This design creates a perfect environment for moisture to become trapped, especially when camping in humid climates or conditions where condensation forms. Without proper air circulation, this trapped moisture creates ideal conditions for mold to develop and thrive. When inspecting a potential RV purchase, always take a moment to lift the mattress completely. Look for telltale signs of mold problems: black or green spotting, damp surfaces, or that distinctive musty basement odor. In severe cases, you might even notice mold spreading into the mattress material itself. Beyond being unpleasant, mold poses genuine health risks as a respiratory irritant. While replacing an RV mattress costs between $300 to $800, addressing mold in the surrounding bed platform and structure could be considerably more expensive. Finding mold under the mattress doesn't automatically make the RV unsalvageable, but it should raise concerns about overall maintenance and ventilation practices. The critical question becomes, if mold is present in this visible area, What other moisture problems might be lurking elsewhere in the RV? When shopping for a used travel trailer or fifth wheel, the frame is your non-negotiable inspection point. This steel backbone determines whether you're buying a reliable home on wheels or a dangerous money pit. Frame cracks typically begin near stress points, axle mounts, suspension hangers, and weld joints, especially in RVs with rough histories. What appears as a minor hairline crack today signals structural weakness that will worsen with every mile. During inspection, crawl underneath with a good flashlight and thoroughly examine cracks in the steel frame, particularly around suspension, rust or corrosion compromising weld integrity. Any bent or distorted frame components. Be skeptical of suspiciously fresh welds or new paint jobs in isolated areas. These often conceal recent repairs. Don't hesitate to ask direct questions about the RV's history. Unlike cosmetic issues, frame damage requires specialized repair. Professional structural welding from a certified shop ranges from $2,000 to $7,000 plus, with many shops refusing such high liability work entirely. Continuing to tow with a compromised frame risks catastrophic failure while driving. The harsh reality: frame damage transforms your recreational investment into an unsafe, uninsurable, and essentially unsellable liability. When frame issues appear during inspection, the wisest course is simple: thank the seller for their time and walk away immediately. Water damage is perhaps the most insidious enemy of any RV. What might appear as minor moisture can actually signal extensive destruction to walls, floors, cabinets, and even the structural frame. More concerning, visible damage typically indicates unresolved leaks that continue to wreak havoc behind the scenes. When examining a used RV, be particularly vigilant around vulnerability points: window corners, skylights, roof vents, and ceiling seams. These areas are prime entry points for unwanted moisture. Watch for these telltale warning signs: bubbling or wrinkling in wall materials, peeling vinyl or wallpaper edges, discoloration or water staining around fixtures, soft or spongy sections in flooring, swollen edges on cabinetry or warped wood trim. These indicators reveal that water has already penetrated the surface, and repairs are rarely simple or inexpensive. Replacing water-damaged wall panels or subflooring typically costs between $2,000 and $6,000, sometimes significantly more if structural elements are compromised. The situation grows worse as moisture fosters mold and mildew growth, creating health hazards, persistent odors, and accelerating deterioration. Once water infiltrates an RV's wooden core components, the damage spreads rapidly throughout adjacent materials. If you discover signs of interior water damage, assume it extends far beyond what's visible. Unless you're specifically seeking a renovation project with substantial repair budget, the wisest decision is to thank the seller and continue your search elsewhere. When examining a used RV, pay careful attention to the exterior sidewalls. If you notice bubbles, ripples, or waves in the fiberglass surface, you've encountered delamination, a serious structural issue that should immediately raise red flags. Delamination occurs when the outer fiberglass layer separates from the underlying wall structure. This separation almost always results from water infiltration, typically originating from failed sealants around windows, roof edges, or body seams. As moisture penetrates these vulnerable points, it degrades the adhesive bonding the wall layers together. The result is visibly warped, soft, or bulging areas that often sound hollow when tapped. While initially appearing to be merely cosmetic, delamination actually indicates significant structural compromise. The trapped moisture continues to spread within the wall cavity, degrading insulation, promoting mold growth, and potentially causing rot that can extend to the frame itself. The repair costs for delaminated walls are prohibitively expensive, typically ranging from $5,000 to $12,000 or more for professional remediation. Even more concerning, many industry experts consider the damage irreversible. The wall will never fully regain its original structural integrity or appearance. Consider delamination as more than just an exterior blemish. It's a revealing indicator of the RV's overall maintenance history and potential for future problems. When you encounter bubbling or soft spots on exterior walls, the wisest course of action is to continue your search elsewhere as these issues generally signal deeper problems that aren't worth the investment. The roof represents both the most critical and potentially expensive component of any RV's maintenance schedule. Over time, protective sealants crack, vents deteriorate, and seams fail, creating entry points for moisture. Once water infiltrates, it begins degrading the wooden substrate underneath, creating the dreaded soft spots that experienced RVers immediately recognize as serious trouble. During any used RV inspection, prioritize a thorough roof examination if it's safe to access, or request the seller demonstrate. Move carefully across the surface, applying gentle pressure around vulnerable areas, roof seams, vents, skylights, and air conditioning units. If you encounter any spongy or springy sections underfoot, you've likely discovered active water damage. These soft spots indicate far more than superficial issues. They typically reveal ongoing rot, potential mold infestation, and compromised structural integrity. Water that penetrates roof decking rarely stays contained. It migrates horizontally across ceiling materials and vertically down wall cavities. The financial reality is sobering. Replacing an RV roof typically costs between $5,000 and $12,000, depending on the unit size and damage severity. Extensive cases may require reconstructing significant portions of the RV's upper structure. Ultimately, a soft roof represents much more than a repair challenge. It's a critical warning sign. When your inspection reveals spongy areas overhead, proceeding with caution is essential. For most buyers, detecting roof soft spots should prompt a polite withdrawal from the transaction and continuation of the search for a structurally sound alternative. Wildlife may be welcome at your campsite, but not inside your RV. Rodents, insects, and other pests frequently infiltrate recreational vehicles, particularly those left unused for extended periods or stored near natural environments like woods or fields. During your used RV inspection, thoroughly examine all enclosed spaces, cabinets, drawers, underbed compartments, and utility bays. Watch carefully for these warning indicators. Droppings or urine stains in corners and hidden areas, gnawed wiring, insulation, or woodwork, shredded materials that could indicate nesting, food debris in unexpected locations. Rodents pose a particularly serious threat, with their tendency to chew through essential electrical wiring, potentially causing shorts, system failures, or fire hazards. Insect colonies, once established, often require professional extermination services and comprehensive sanitization to fully eliminate. The health implications can't be overlooked either. Droppings and urine contamination create respiratory hazards, especially concerning for those with allergies or households with children and pets. Restoration costs add up quickly, with electrical repairs and replacement of contaminated materials typically ranging from $1,000 to $4,000, not including professional pest control services. When your inspection reveals signs of infestation, consider it a significant red flag regarding the RV's maintenance history, storage conditions, and potential hidden damage. If something feels off about the cleanliness or condition of the unit, the wisest decision is usually to continue your search elsewhere rather than inheriting someone else's pest problem. Slideouts transform an RV's livability, expanding your space with the press of a button. However, when these mechanisms malfunction, they quickly become one of the most expensive and frustrating problems an RV owner can face. A properly functioning slide should extend and retract with smooth, even motion and consistent speed. During your inspection, carefully observe and listen to the slide-out operation. These symptoms typically indicate bent or damaged slide rails, worn or broken internal gears, failing electric motors or hydraulic systems, compromised seals, or structural misalignment. The financial implications are significant, with repairs typically costing between $1,000 and $5,000 plus, depending on the slide mechanism type and extent of damage. Even more concerning, slide problems frequently cascade into larger issues. Severe cases may require complete slide assembly removal and rebuilding, an extremely labor-intensive and expensive process. If the previous owner neglected maintenance, there's high probability that hidden damage has already begun developing in adjacent systems and structures. Remember that problematic slideouts reveal more than just mechanical issues. They often indicate broader maintenance neglect. When you encounter jerky, noisy, or misaligned slides during inspection, consider it a significant warning about the RV's overall condition and care history. These mechanical signals deserve your full attention when evaluating a potential purchase. Body separation from the frame represents one of the most alarming structural failures in any RV, a critical issue that compromises both integrity and safety. This problem indicates fundamental structural breakdown that demands immediate attention. While this issue can affect any recreational vehicle, it appears most frequently in Class A and Class C motorhomes. In towable units like travel trailers and fifth wheels, evidence typically shows at lower skirting areas or corner sections. Class C motorhomes require special attention at the cab-to-house connection point, where separation creates vulnerability to water infiltration. During your inspection, be methodical about checking these critical areas. Visually inspect all body-to-frame connection points and seams. Look specifically for gaps, misaligned panels, or unusual flexing during movement. For motorhomes, a test drive is essential. Excessive shaking, rattling, or movement in the front cap suggests compromised attachment. The repair outlook is grim. Addressing body frame separation typically costs between $5,000 and $15,000 plus, often exceeding the vehicle's value. Many service centers refuse these repairs entirely due to the technical complexity and liability concerns. This structural failure represents more than just an expensive repair. It signals fundamental breakdown in the RV's core integrity. When you observe body frame separation during inspection, recognize it as the clearest indication that you're examining a compromised vehicle. Regardless of other appealing features or potential price advantages, this is the moment to conclude your inspection and continue your search elsewhere. Have you ever bought an RV that turned out to be a lemon? Drop your story in the comments. Your experience could help someone else avoid the same mistake. And if you want to keep your RV journey smooth, don't miss our next video where we reveal the biggest buying traps even seasoned RVers fall for. Until then, happy and safe travels.